When is the right time to trigger the handle login form function? This function is responsible of taking in the entire form data, validate all inputs, and return the errors inside the real-time errors variable ref. But we tried to trigger this function on input, so when the user starts interacting with the input fields, this function triggers and does its work. But this caused a lot of trouble. The form started to flicker, and also the form attacked the user. Once the user starts typing, it immediately shows the errors. And we don't want that. We want to give the user time to stop typing before we tell them that there is something wrong. And that's where debouncing comes in. Debouncing is a technique to control how often a function runs in a response to user interaction. And instead of handling this manually and implementing debouncing from all over again using JavaScript or even Vue.js, we can get some help from an external package. So run this command, npm install or I at VueUse/core. This amazing package includes a lot of composables that we can use. They save us a lot of time, just like the composable that we are going to use now. I'll run a development server again and hide the terminal, and let's import what we need. What I want to import from VueUse is debounced watch. And that little guy is going to help us with achieving what we need. Right there, anywhere inside the script setup, I will use the debounced watch. And actually, it's also called watchDebounced. So if I import watchDebounced instead of debounced watch, it will also work. So here it is, watchDebounced. The debounced watch is basically just an alias for this one. Anyway, this works exactly like a normal watch. So it accepts for the first argument whatever we are trying to watch. I'll pass the entire form data as a ref. Then, as a second argument, it is a callback, and whatever we do in here is going to be triggered whenever any changes happen there. And the third argument is options. And here we get something special. It's called debounce option. This debounce option will allow us to control how long are we going to wait before the callback logic is triggered. So if I set this option to 1 second, the watchDebounced is going to keep an eye on the form data and not going to trigger the callback unless the user stops changing the form data for 1 second. And that's exactly what we want. And also there is a deep option. This is also available to the normal watch from Vue.js. And we are going to set it to true in order to make sure that we are tracking all the changes that will happen nested in the form data object. And now what we want to trigger after 1 second is the handle login form function and pass the form data value to it. And of course, remove that from the template. Right there, we don't need this anymore. So here is what will happen. The watchDebounced is going to start watching the form data. When the user makes any changes, the watchDebounced is going to wait for 1 second. If the user didn't interact after 1 second, it will trigger the callback. Let's try that out. I'll type anything. After 1 second, we got the error. If I start typing anything again, we got the error. Now let's add a valid email, mustafa@vueschool.io. Now the error is gone and everything is as expected. Same for the password as well. It will show the error after 1 second of not interacting with the field. And we should be able to show multiple errors for the same input. For example, in the form validations inside the utils directory, let's say for the error, I'll just do something as an example. So the password must include the @sign. Okay, let's say that this is a special character. So if it doesn't include the @sign, I would like to errors push password must include special characters and save. Check again, and let's start typing. And here it is. We got the first error. Password must be more than 6 characters, and the second one, password must include special characters. And I have to say, there are millions of ways that you can write validation and do the whole thing that we did. But it really depends on your style, at the same time on performance. You just need to make sure that you don't affect performance by whatever you're doing. And we could also extract this part over here to reusable component, make it look fancy, errors look better, but I'll leave that to you.